How do you ace a video interview and make the best possible impression? What are scientifically proven things you can do in the job interview that are low effort, high reward? And how do you get companies to like you and give you a chance? This is Self-Made Millennial. I'm Madeline Mann, and in this video, I'll give you 5 highly impactful strategies according to psychology of how to stand out in a Zoom or video interview. For bleeding edge career and job search tips from our human resources and recruiting leader who has helped thousands of people land career-defining jobs, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the bell to get new videos on Thursdays. Okay, you're not only going to get 5 practical tips of exactly what to say and do in the video interview, but I also know for me, when I hear the science and psychology behind why it works, I remember the tip so much better and am so much more likely to do it. So I'm gonna do that for you. And stay to the end because I'll reveal that, yes, there is a proven best time of day to have a job interview. And yes, this can actually impact if you pass the interview or not. Tip number 1, the power of similarity. We as humans are naturally inclined to protect our tribe, or really anyone who seems similar to us. Of course, this is highly problematic because people often hire and promote people who are like them, which leads to about the level of diversity you'd find in a bunker full of minions. But there are ways that we can twist this desire to feel like we are in their tribe. What I want you to do is request the names of the people who will be interviewing you. Ask this to whomever is coordinating your interview, and trust me, it's a normal ask. Then do some tasteful internet sleuthing. Their LinkedIn profile will often be enough information, but you could branch out to their Twitter or their personal website as well. Pick out 1 or 2 things that you can connect with them on, such as they also have moved a lot. They also have stayed at a company for more than 4 years. They also do community service. Notice none of these things are hyper-specific, like you both went to the same school, which if you did, that will really help, but not all of us have that luxury. So expand your mind and look for anything that makes you slightly similar and bring it up in an interview. You can say something like, I was excited to speak with you because I saw the different cities you've lived in on your LinkedIn profile. And it's nice to connect with someone who has a similarly nomadic past. You get what I'm saying, right? And you know what's the wild thing? This person is going to feel seen. They're going to feel noticed. They can now talk about him or herself, which is their favorite topic, and they are now seeing you as more similar. This is powerful stuff, pooches. This is just a small, tasty morsel of interview preparation, and I have given you even more tips in my video, How to Prepare for a Job Interview, where I give you the full interview preparation framework that is streamlined so that you're not prepping for days. I'll link that in the comments and in the description. Tip number 2, the power of rest. Speaking of interview preparation, there is no doubt that the more you prepare for an interview, the more you are going to slay it harder than J-Lo in any decade. But a huge mistake people make is cramming that information the night before, late into the night, or even worse, the day of. Studies show that learning doesn't happen in the moment. It happens when you sleep. It is best to do interview prep a few days in advance of the interview because the learning and memorization happens while you're sleeping. It's incredible. Studies show that a full night's sleep after learning new information significantly boosts how well and how accurately you're able to recall what you learned. Being sleep deprived for an interview is proven to be one of the most detrimental things you can do because you're less clear-headed, you're less charismatic, and sleep deprivation isn't calculated by one night alone. We actually build up this thing called sleep debt over the course of 2 weeks. Once I realized how big of an impact sleep has on my performance, my health, my happiness, I started tracking my sleep. And I use the app Rise Up, and it tracks how much sleep you get every night and then calculates my sleep debt. It tells me when I'm groggy. It tells me when I should wind down and go to sleep. And it is one of my absolute favorite apps. I was so excited when they agreed to support this channel and sponsor this video. So I will link the Rise app in the comments and in the description for you to check out. I know for me, whenever I have a speaking engagement, which I feel like the pressure of a speaking engagement is similar to a job interview, I always practice the evening before and relax the morning of, because our brains do all the hard work encoding in our memory while we're sleeping. And that's on working smarter, not harder. Tip number 3, the power of primacy. The primacy effect, according to the APA Dictionary of Psychology, is the tendency for facts, impressions, or items that are presented first to be better learned or remembered than material presented later. In short, your first impression better be fire. There's an absolutely astounding study by Oregon State University where they filmed real job interviews and collected the evaluation of trained interviewers. Then they shortened those videos to 20-second clips to only show the candidate entering the room, greeting the interviewer, and taking a seat. And then they rated them only on that interaction. And holy moly, those who had only seen 20-second clips gave the same ratings as the interviewers who had done the full interview. Oh dang. Okay, the pressure is on, but don't worry, I got your back. First, you want to make sure your answer to the question, "Tell me about yourself," is well refined. This is the #1 most common interview question. Interviewers ask it at the beginning of the interview, so I created a free worksheet to help you sketch out your perfect answer to this question. And this guide has helped thousands of people, so I will link it in the comments and in the description. So to make a great first impression, it's so important that you have energy and positivity in your voice. And often it's more energy than actually feels natural for you. Such as, "Hello, I'm Madeline Mann. So great to meet you. I'm looking forward to this conversation." And turn your camera on before you go into the video call to see what you look like, because the last thing you want to do is to be looking at yourself in the video and like fixing your hair during your intro. I have a whole video about how to introduce yourself in an interview and make a powerful introduction. And this stuff is so predictive of whether or not you'll get hired. So make sure to check out that video. I will link it in the comments and in the description. Study up. I don't just train job seekers how to interview, I also train the interviewers, aka the people who will be interviewing you. And one thing I tell them to do is to notice how they feel about the candidate after 10 minutes, and then spend the next 10 minutes trying to change their minds. So if they absolutely love the candidate, I make sure that they are deeply probing into that candidate's answers with a healthy dose of skepticism. If they don't like the candidate, I have them start really rooting for that candidate and probing to see the good in their work. This can really help to shake that first impression bias on the company side, but unfortunately, most interviewers are not trained properly, so I gotta play both sides of the fence here. Tip number 4, the power of recency. We can't talk about primacy without giving a good old nod to its peppy younger sister, recency. The recency effect states that people are likely to remember and be influenced by what they last hear or see. So what we have here, Professor, is a textbook case of an influence sandwich, where we need to dazzle them with our intro and then drop their jaws in our final breath. You can totally do this. It is less elaborate than it sounds. At the end of the interview, provide them with a scrumptious little summary. Here is the wrong way to do it. "Well, Mrs. Hiring Manager, I am the best person for this job due to my hard work, determination, and drive to make your company successful. Hire me." Too braggy, too generic, too "I got this tip out of a crappy online video." Here is a better way to end your interview. "You answered all of my questions, thank you. Based on what you said about the strategic direction of the company switching to a subscription model, I am so excited to dive into that challenge after all of my experience building out the subscription model at XYZ company and seeing the wonder that that did for that company. And I'm looking forward to bringing my insights from the e-commerce space into your industry and building campaigns that are completely unique. I'm really looking forward to next steps. Oof, that was specific, sounded passionate, and showed competence without sounding overly braggy. In this closing time, you can also ask about next steps or if there's anything else you can provide. And now I'll also give you the easiest possible thing to end on, and it's so highly effective, and that is saying, thank you so much for meeting with me. I'm excited about your company and the possibility of working here. Simple, beautiful masterpiece. Tip number 5, the power of timing. Okay, this tip is really juicy and takes no effort. When I look at my Rise app, it shows me when are my peak focus times and when are the times I am not focused, aka when I will find any excuse to be distracted. And it sends me push notifications based on my circadian rhythms to say, you are about to be productive this hour, get in the focus zone. Or your mind is about to be as useless as the G in lasagna, so just go relax and don't screw anything up. These focus notifications are so helpful. So what does this mean for you? Take interviews in your peak times. A general rule of thumb is that most people are peaking in the late morning and again in the early evening. You and your interviewer will be at your emotional and cognitive prime. 10 a.m. is my recommendation. That is the golden hour, but really having any interview between 9 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. is ideal. This research is reflected in job interview studies, but also in studies of surgeons. They found that surgeons had far lower incidences of mistakes for surgeries performed in the morning instead of after lunch. So get those morning surgery slots, folks. And remember to download Rise. It's linked in the comments and in the description. If you're digging this content, don't be shy. Be sure to subscribe, share this video with a friend, and hit that like button so I know to make more videos exactly like this. You've got this Wi-Fi high five.